Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advancement. Welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And well, yeah, we're getting there. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So, yesterday, we did a show where I said that I won't be surprised if Luka Doncic gets traded in the future, because I'm beginning to believe that this guy may not be the right guy to lead the Lakers to the promised land. Right? I said that. Some people thought I was going overboard, but no, I just have a hunch about it. There's just some things about Luka that is beginning to make me worry. Some of it has to do with the constant complaining, which to me also has to do with a lack of mental toughness. Not being able to play through things that annoy you on the court, whining and moaning every single play, that's an issue to me. The fact that he is committed to not even making an effort on the other side of the ball, which also sets a bad example for his team, and it puts his teammates, it forces them to cover up so much for him that it becomes too much. And I just think that, just something in me is saying this guy may not be the guy to take this team to the promised land. And it looks like some people are beginning to feel the same way. And one of these people, surprisingly enough, is Colin Cowherd. So Colin Cowherd yesterday was talking about the Lakers and their chances of winning a championship in the future. And he is essentially saying now that he believes that the Lakers are never going to be able to win a championship with Luka. And now all of a sudden it went from Luka being the golden boy to comparing him to players like Carmelo Anthony, I think James Harden. I'm like, well, we're getting to that point now. So what we want to do is we're going to play what Colin had to say on the herd yesterday, and we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Colin Cowherd here.
So the Luka Doncic thing, I always said my comp was always Carmelo Anthony. It's getting truer by the day, is that he doesn't attack the rim. He's not going to contribute much defensively. He spends way too much time barking at officials, which if he was an elite defender, I'd be okay with. But if you're not going to try on one end of the floor, then don't play a victim to the officials and the zebras, right? Like you can't just be a one-dimensional jump shooter. And like I'm watching Wemby last night, he can beat you 7 different ways. He can beat you without scoring. And Luka now can only beat you with scoring. People used to say, well, he's Larry Bird. No, Bird made all defense 3 times. Larry Bird made every teammate he ever played with better. We're a year into Luka and the Lakers, and LeBron's admitting it. JJ Redick's admitting it. Luka's admitting it. It's not really working yet. How long can it take? LeBron James is one of the smartest basketball players in the last 20 years. Everybody plays well with LeBron. Austin Reeves is not a ball hog. He's undrafted. He's a hard worker. He's a shot creator. He's a free throw getter. You can't work with that. So, and people say, well, Luka did make the finals. Well, Carmelo Anthony had one great playoff run. But 2 things can be true. Yesterday I had Chris Broussard on, and we talked about this. Is that, you're for a pro athlete, your body is a retirement account. The more you put into it, the more you have left at the end. And I look at Luka right now and I'm like, I don't know. You keep telling me he's in great shape. Men's Health magazine put him on the cover. He looked in great shape. And then the season started. And now he doesn't attack the rim. He gets a lot of technicals. He no longer dunks the ball. It was a great trade. I'm not denying it. But Chris Broussard struck on something yesterday, and I think it's absolutely true.
I don't know if he's ever going to win a championship. And it's not because he's not individually good enough. It's because of the way he plays. He is so hard to build around because he's so ball dominant. And we've seen ball dominant players, but ball dominant players that shoot and score a lot are really tough to build around. Steve Nash, Chris Paul, they're ball dominant, but they were pass first guys. Even LeBron, when he was really in his prime and ball dominant, it was a challenge to build around him.
We're a year into the Luka deal, playing with one of the smartest guys in the league, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, a very good collaborative teammate. And they still can't make it work?
Excellent. So you heard what Colin had to say. Look, man, to me, it's just kind of like a hunch thing. It's just a hunch that I'm having that this guy may not be the guy to lead them to the promised land. And there was so much kind of put into this Luka acquisition. Now, granted, AD was never going to be the guy. So you can understand why the Lakers would do it from a youth standpoint, et cetera, et cetera. But Luka does have some problems. You know, Dallas didn't want to get off of him for no reason. In the summertime, he made a commitment to losing weight and doing all of that. And now Luka looks like he's regressed physically. If you look at how he looks, his appearance, looks like he's put on some weight again. The constant complaining sets a bad example in an environment for his teammates. And then you couple that with the fact that his coach is unwilling to coach him. Like, JJ Redick is unwilling to pull him over to the side and say, stop your whining and complaining. Play through some of these things. Get back on defense. Try to set an example for your teammates. He seems to be unable or unwilling to do that. And I think that the new ownership group, the Mark Walter, his new whatever company that he has that's taking over the Lakers, I think that if they see an opportunity in the future to go after a guy that they believe could lead them to the promised land and get off of Luka, I think they will. And I said that, I think it was yesterday I said it. I said that I would rather have Anthony Edwards than Luka Doncic if I'm the Lakers. Yes, I would rather have him. I think Luka is the more prolific scorer, but Ant-Man has some intangibles, which is he's very, very competitive, which you like. He wants to beat the opponent, which you like, and Luka has that too. But he also plays defense, which is something I also like and something that Luka doesn't provide, right? And I think that maybe in the future, the Lakers may need to explore getting a more all-around rounded basketball player. Now, some people say Giannis. Yeah, Giannis, he can put up 30 and 12 a night, but he does have some holes in his game offensively. If I had to think of a player right now outside of Ant-Man, if they can get him in the future, Cade Cunningham is good. I don't know if he's that good. Just some players on the top of my mind right now. Jaylen Brown is good. I'm not sure if he can lead the team as the alpha, although you could make an argument right now that he should be the MVP of the season right now. You could make a legitimate argument for that. So there are no players right now that are coming to my mind, but Luka, man, he's great. I mean, he's a great player, great playmaker. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. We get all of that. But is he going to be the guy to lead us to the promised land? I would like to see a little bit more leadership out of this guy on the court. I would like to see a little bit more leadership and a little bit more mental toughness on his part. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing that. And it looks like people like Colin and some others are beginning to pick up on that. Right now, some could say it could be the spotlight of being in LA, and maybe, you know, there's a lot of scrutiny that comes with being a Los Angeles Laker and all of that, blah, 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 blah. But no, I think we got to keep an eye on Luka. We got to keep an eye on that guy. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.